I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't
God
that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up from home. Whoa!
Bowers a high chopper. It's a fair ball headed towards the corner. Vaughn is on the move. Vaughn will be sent around third. The ball gets away. Bowers heads for third base. The Brewers take a 1-0 lead on the triple by Jake Bowers. Check swing. Yes, he did. That's 10 Ks for Brandon Sprode. Vaughn, a high fly into right center. Back is done on the warning track to make the catch. Everybody's trying to tag, and they will. It's a sac fly for Vaughn. Fly ball right center. Sal Frelick gives way to Mitchell. Ball game over. The Brewers shut out the Reds. A 2-0 final. Sprott unbelievable and just enough offense to win the series.
You know what, Josh? I think we need a bat.
Oh, you do?
Well,
Give it a couple days.
convenient. Have a night, Brandon Sprott, audio, courtesy of Brewers TV. 20 strikeouts, 2 hits, no walks, no runs. The last 2 starters combined for the Brewers in Woody and in Brandon Sprott. Wow. Yeah, I kind of think we need a bat. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Do we need a bat? To be determined. Let's be real, though. If we can have Ms. Harrison, Sprott, Woody, Gasser.
So,
One of these things is not like
right. Well, Henderson hopefully coming back soon. Right.
True.
He was lights out before his injury. So yeah, right. That's the conversation. However, it does seem that we go back and forth, don't we? 1 week it's a bat, 1 week it's a pitcher, 1 week it's a bat.
It's about convenience. It's about what happened last night. What have you done for me lately?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's play catch up. Actually, play catch up for real today.
That's right.
Packers.
I love when the Packers social media team gets involved with the players. They do a hell of a job. And a video came out of Jordan Love and Micah Parsons being mic'd up from the 2026 charity softball game that happened down in Appleton with the Fox City Stadium and Neuroscience Group Field and the Timber Rattlers and all the things that has this softball game turned into something special over the years. We don't have audio for you for a reason. It's an 11-minute clip.
Mm-hmm.
And when players are mic'd up, you kind of need to go and watch the thing. Do you guys remember when Brett Favre was mic'd up and that montage of him being mic'd up came out?
I mean,
best ever. Right?
Legendary. Yeah.
There's some pretty legendary moments from Micah Parsons and Jordan Love being mic'd up. Jordan Love having fun. Micah Parsons, I will kill you.
Yeah. Not having fun. Right. Very serious.
And also, like, every last turn, Micah wants to win. Jordan being Jordan. Pretty fun to see. So many times we watch these post-game interviews or them at the podium or post-practice or whatever the case may be, and it is straight football, not this 11 minutes. You'll enjoy it. Go look up Jordan Love and Micah Parsons mic'd up from the 2026 charity softball game. You will not be disappointed. Brewers, not disappointing.
Brewers.
Have a night, Rook. Brandon Sprott on the mound doing his best Brandon Woodruff impersonation. And last night in a Brewers victory over the Reds 2-0, Brandon Sprott, 6 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 10 strikeouts. And, fancy concept. When we go starting pitcher, Aaron Ashby, Abner Uribe, Trevor McGill, in order,
Yeah.
turns into a W.
That's weird.
Fancy concept to put those guys in the spot that we've been watching them pitch all year long. So we talked earlier in the week and last week, and we'll talk again in the Malott Meets Morning Mind Dump as it stands on this little 9-game set that Josh and I have been talking about for so long. The Brewers are 3-2 so far, but I feel like when we play teams like Atlanta and lose series, and then we have guys like Brandon Woodruff and Brandon Sproat do what they've done to the Reds in the first 2 games of this series, people go, well, it's the Reds.
Right.
That's
right.
crap.
I mean, the Reds are not a terrible team. Also, like, you look at some of the teams that they have faced that were not great teams this season, and the Brewers did not perform. So you read into the opponent over the performance as much as you want, doesn't mean that it should be valid.
The Brewers did take advantage of some of the shortcomings of the Reds last night. One ball got away from their right fielder that turned into a Jake Bauers RBI triple in the 6th. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm. High chopper.
But also, like, what are we doing, bud? Just grab the ball. It was like the ball was
bouncing all over the place. Yeah.
Hey, bud, that thing does not have legs.
Yeah,
just grab it.
Pick it up. Pick it up. Pick up the ball. I was glad he didn't.
We were watching the Brewers and the NBA draft at the same time. We'll get to that part from the Bucks coming up, but there seems to be movement in Madison.
Badgers.
Movement-ish.
Rumors, something, maybe.
But that's all we've been asking for, right?
Right. Just give us something. Yep.
247 Sports Arizona insider Jason Scheer reporting that AD for Arizona, Desiree Reed Francois, is reportedly and apparently in the mix as a finalist. Reading is hard. So that's all we got, though. And so we've been talking for months now that this seems to be taking forever.
Mm-hmm.
We finally got what seems to be a leak, although it's really not much. But why, Josh, would the Arizona AD, who just from a basketball perspective was in the Final Four, we were reminded of that last night, why is she interested in Wisconsin? Arizona, Mizzou, UNLV, Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's interesting in its own right. I think that when I saw this, though, my first reaction was, oh boy, whoever they choose, I'm not going to have any feeling, opinion, knowledge. Like, it's an athletic director. Like, I'm not up to snuff when it comes to knowledge on athletic directors. I think I just want it to be chosen. I just think it doesn't matter who it is in my mind. Just fill the position. I don't know why that's such a big deal to me, but knowing that position is still open is the only problem I have. This person sounds great. Okay, go with her. Like, I really don't know.
The report said that she would be an experienced external operator that Wisconsin needs from a fundraising perspective and the NIL and the revenue share strategy that's coming through in college athletics. Facilities vision, football stability. So hire her then.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yep, sounds good.
What'd you think of the draft last night? Does it sound good?
Bucks.
My wife just texted me, are you glitching? Yeah, kind of. I glitched there. It happens. I combine words sometimes, Josh.
I do that too.
So I was trying to say apparently and reportedly at the same time.
You said reportedly.
Cooperation came out of my mouth once.
Ooh.
Live at a baseball game.
Nice.
Over the PA. That was, thank you for your cooperation. The hell's that?
Yeah.
Cooperation and participation.
And we appreciate it. Yep.
Now try to spell it.
That's right.
NBA draft.
Yeah.
What do you think?
With the 10th pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Milwaukee Bucks select Braden Burries from the University of Arizona.
So that was our first pick, right? That was who the Bucks took with the number 10 pick out of Braden Burries out of Arizona, 6'4". He's a shooting guard. A lot of people saying best available, a lot of people liking that pick. I'm not going to lie. I don't have an opinion at this point. It's very much for me the same as when the Packers draft anyone. I try very hard to go, I don't know. This could be a guy. This could not be a guy. Like, it's just, we've been in positions to where
is that the land of realism? Is that realism? Like, is that what that is?
Yeah. When the Bucs drafted Giannis, it wasn't like, let's go. It was, all right, here's a guy.
Do you get excited though? Like, I mean, Brandon Burries is really good. 16 points per game for Arizona. Speaking of Arizona, that seems to be someone that would come into the Bucs and be able to impact quickly. Best available, sure, but also a good pick in comparison to what the pundits were saying last night. They were happy with it. So, like, do you get excited? Like, all right, this could be, or you are just.
I'm essentially, I'm not knowledgeable enough to really know. And I feel like even the people that are, you can look at the upsides, the downsides to every pick. You don't know until they're actually in the NBA how they're going to go. It seems like, from what I've heard, for him and the 13th pick.
With the 13th pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Miami Heat select Nate Ament from the University of Tennessee.
And Nate Ament, that they're both going to be, there are things they got to work on. There's going to be, some growth that needs to happen on both, which makes sense because they're not the way they were. If you look at a picture of Giannis from the day he was drafted to then going forward to like 2017, it looks like 2017 Giannis 8 draft night Giannis, like a completely different person. So I'm not going to sit here and go, this guy's the answer, or what a flop. I got no clue. It's not something that's going to be answered tonight. If anything, the people that really study it kind of looked at it and went, okay, nothing to really complain about. 2 fine picks. Now we wait and see.
Well, we're going to hear from the people that study it coming up in the next segment with I Have Questions. How's the Giannis hangover? That's a thing. People were putting things at his mural in Milwaukee.
True.
Like, he's not dead.
Well, true. He's not actually dead, but
is he dead to us?
To a lot. Did you listen to the show yesterday?
Yes.
I was stunned by how many people were acting like he's dead to us.
That was quite the mix yesterday, and there was a lot more dead to us than I thought there would be.
Same.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line coming up, and I Have Questions. We will break down the picks with those that know exactly what they're talking about, right? Brandon Snide, Brian Butch, from the show last night here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, where they literally went pick by pick and talked about not only each pick, but obviously the Bucs pick. We're going to get to them here in a little bit.
When you said 414, I thought you were talking about Tyler Hero.
Yeah, who we weren't sure was going to be a Buck through last night, but he sure is. And he's excited about it. He put out on Twitter yesterday, simply 414.
Yeah, I don't know if he's excited or if he was just trying to tweet out our talk and text line and he sent it too early and then that was it. But yeah, that to me sounded more like a statement. Just of just like in The Office when Dwight says it is your birthday. Like, yes, 414. That's it. But no excitement, no anything else, just 414.
If you are really into your zip code, though, sometimes that turns into a tattoo. So is that him stamping 414 going, I know this place. I'm excited to be back. Let's go.
No, I think it's him being cautious. I think he's also very much aware that there's still a fine chance that he might not be here. I mean, even if it wasn't for last night's draft, it doesn't mean that a team isn't going to offer future picks or something to get Tyler Hero. I mean, everyone's saying Detroit. Everyone's saying he's going to be a piece in Detroit. So who knows? The fact that he's a rental is still a thing for me, and I still don't think, even if you're on the Tyler Hero train, which a lot of Wisconsin is not, but even if you are, you're saying, hey, the Bucs are going to, before this guy even plays that much of in a uniform, he's going to have to get an extension. Otherwise, he's a rental.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. Did you see some of the billboards? Hometown hero?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
not a fan.
I mean, it was the billboard kind of writes itself, but I'm just not set on it. It doesn't make sense to me. Him being a part of the team doesn't make sense unless for some reason the Bucs organization are super high on him and they're gonna pay him. And if they pay him, they're paying him early, right? They would be paying him even either before he plays at all or halfway through a season.
Do you think that he's not the guy because he's not worth the money? Or is it the personal side with Milwaukee and Whitnall and Wisconsin? Like, why in your mind can't Tyler Hero be impactful for the Milwaukee Bucks?
I think that Tyler Hero could be impactful. I don't think he's the guy, right? He's not, like we talked about, if they would have gone and gotten Jaylen Brown and Jaylen Brown actually wanted to be in Milwaukee, which I don't think he did. But if they would have, Jaylen Brown would have been that centerpiece that you're trying to build something around. I don't think Tyler Hero is a guy that you're building something around. I think he's a complementary piece. And I don't think that you focus on having and paying a complementary piece when you're just starting a rebuild. So that's the thing for me. If he had a couple more years on his contract, if he had 4 years, right, and the Bucs had him for a couple of years before they had to make a decision on what they want to do with him, sure, maybe they keep him. But with him being a rental and you just drafting the future, knowing all the reports saying they're going to need a little bit of time at least, put some muscle on, put some weight on. Okay, then you're using the only time you have with Tyler Hero during that rebuild, unless you're going to take a shot in the dark and go, nope, we love this guy based on what he did in Miami. We want to pay him to be the future, which I just don't see happening.
Yeah, a little bit of muscle needs to be put on is right. Nate Ament, 6'10", 211 pounds. I remember my junior year of high school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. A lot of people making comparisons of Ament to Giannis because it's essentially the same story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not where he came from, the just the body type story of what Ament looks like now, what he can be, what Giannis looked like, what he became. They're saying there's similarities here. This could be Giannis 2.0, which, boy, that's wishful thinking. But staying in the world of realism, I'm just saying, like, not every team hits immediately after trading their franchise player.
And the wound is fresh. I mean, it's very normal to go, oh, God, who are we going to replace Giannis with?
Right.
All of them. Literally every single person that we have on the team and the ones that we just drafted last night. All of them.
Yeah.
Because, to your point, Josh, there is no centerpiece right now. And but it's very normal to want to replace the centerpiece. Not so easy.
Yeah, I'm telling you, if you're a Bucs fan and you're wondering who's going to be used primarily in the posters and things, you're looking at Ryan Rollins, Miles Turner. You're looking at the guys that are still on the team. Kuzma, if he's here, like those are the guys that they're going to be promoting. It's not going to be the young guys yet. Right? They need to earn their time first.
So let's break it down. And I have questions. When we get back, we want your feedback. And we'll hear Brandon and Butchie's feedback as well. How do you feel about the picks from last night in the NBA draft? 2 Bucs picks, even though it didn't sound or look like it. And also, how's the Giannis hangover? Yesterday was the longest 3 hours we've had. And like, even after the playoff loss for the Packers, yesterday felt longer.
Yeah.
So how's the Giannis hangover doing? 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. Off and running on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. I glitched.
When things just don't add up, Trevor and Josh ask the hard questions or just point out how messed up stuff is.
I only have one question.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
Do you view this season as a failure?
You asked me the same question last year.
What's the most important question the Badgers have to answer Saturday?
This is a great question. Oh my God, this is a great question.
It's time for I Have Questions, presented by Capital Credit Union, doing the right thing on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
The Nicolay Law talk and text line 414-677-1250. I have questions brought to you by Capital Credit Union. In sports and in life, the right partner matters. At Capital Credit Union, they are there for you every step of the way. Capital Credit Union, doing the right thing. Text money to 79489 and see how Capital can do the right thing by you. A few questions this morning, and I have questions here on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Two are Bucks related, and the third, Josh and I were talking in the break, and it didn't dawn on me. I never told you guys the story about the tattoo that I'm getting.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, tell me about the ink. Maybe we'll do that after we play the most electrifying sound of the day. Two questions first, though. Number one, how's the Giannis hangover? And number two, what do you think of the picks last night? We'll break those down. Josh, I think we should start, based on the text messages that we're already seeing, I think we should start with last night's picks because turns out the hangover hasn't started for Bucks fans in regard to Giannis yet. It's still super fresh.
Yeah, sure seems to be.
And they're super angry.
Yeah.
So
it's not gonna get any better. Too.
Apparently not. I'm surprised. I really am.
I mean, can we just quickly start? I want to start here because I'll tell you, I was surprised by the blowback from a lot of people on Giannis, and then Giannis was at an Aces Liberty WNBA game, and like Bam Adebayo was there as well. Like that was like the first time Giannis was out and about doing anything since he was traded, and it was like just seeing him do things. Period. Out doing things, smiling, being happy, and I was like, oh, the seeing your ex-girlfriend happy on social media portion of the grief is starting immediately. And this is still the off season.
Wait till you see his divorce body.
This is right. This is what I'm saying. Like, if that was getting me feeling a certain way, it's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get ugly when we see opening pressers and the pictures with Pat Riley and him holding the uniform and whatever else comes next. Not ready for that.
I joke that you are a Giannis unapologetic because you're just the craziest, most enduring, biggest Giannis fan I've ever met, which means you might be able to look past things that maybe non-apologetic Giannis / Buck fans can't. That's the talk and text line already this morning from Nicolay Law, 414-677-1250. I'm excited for the idea of team basketball. Wow, novel concept. No one superstar to have to get theirs or go through. Just some good old-fashioned team basketball. Maybe it's crazy enough to just work to make them more than a bottom feeder and compete for the 7-8 instead of the 9-12 from the 9-2-0. That, along with he's a dirty liar, and stabbed us in the back, and all of those things. And so I think two things can be true at once. I think that we clearly need to be grateful for the time Giannis spent with the Bucks and in Milwaukee and all the things he did for the Bucks and for Milwaukee. And this is what I call statriotism. Statriotism is a zealous patriotism for one's home state. And I think Wisconsin has it the thickest. And I would put it against any other state in our union. And frankly, I think you could bind many of the states and still wouldn't reach the level of patriotism we have here for our teams. And really, though, Josh, for our communities, for our friends, for our families, for all of it. Yeah. And when Giannis comes out and says the things he says about our team and our city and our state and some of our customs, right? Like cheese curds
right,
and the state fair and all of the things that we hold dear. And when he literally jumps in the Statriot cannonball style pool, the pool cannonball, and then he leaves. And that's what got people twisted. They do not know how to comprehend how someone can say all of these enduring things about us and our state and all those things and then leave.
Yeah.
And not only leave, but like want out.
Well, and it's a sense of pride, right? It's the deep sense of pride in us being Wisconsinites that we have that gets a lot of people going. And I think it's a lose-lose when you reach that level, right? You either become the villain or you're honest and you're truthful, and then we're still mad at you. If Giannis would have came out and not said, I'm here forever, if he goes like, listen, I know I said that, but it's time. Milwaukee, I love you, but it's time. I still think that there's a lot of people out there that go, well, you don't like us? Well, fine. We don't like you. And like, they're still just as upset. It seems like the reason why people are upset is because they're saying he's a liar, because they said he said one thing and then behind our backs, he did another. I'm saying, while that's valid, even if he wouldn't have lied and he would have said it to your face, it's going to get the same reaction. And so I don't know, unless he truly stayed forever and just said, this was what I said, and now I have to live with it for the rest of my life and career to please people I'll never meet. I don't see how he comes out of this saving face, which is why it's so rare. That's why we celebrate people like Robin Yount, Donald Driver. Like, the list is not much longer than that. Ryan Braun, but still there are tons of people that are off on Ryan Braun. So, well, yeah. So the point is there's not a ton of people that fit in that category of, as Wisconsinites, being proud to be from Wisconsin and defend Wisconsin. We don't have a lot of grace when the time ends.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. The 920 says the Giannis trade is just a test to see how we feel when Miz or Terrain get dealt. Hey, too soon.
Yeah, right.
No.
Right. You ready for that? I'm not. I'm sure not. All right, now.
Are you ready for Braden Burries and Nate Ament? Let's hear from the people that watch the orange round ball more than we do. Brandon Snide and Brian Butch did a show last night analyzing all of the picks and specifically the ones for the Bucks. Brandon says, hey, best available.
Braden Burries at number 10 was the best available. If you look at any big board, Butchie, on anybody's list, he was the best available, and you're shaking your head at me like I'm crazy. No, and I certainly can be classified as crazy, Butchie, but I'm fine with them taking, and the moment, the best available. You're talking about Mara defending Wemby in the NBA Finals. We got to get past the first round here yet, Butchie.
So when we talk NFL draft, we say best available a lot. Is that true when you have a lottery pick? Are you supposed to pick the best available?
To me, it depends on where your franchise is at. Are they starting a rebuild or are they one piece away? Right? That's the big argument between best available versus position of need. Well, is it your team is already competing and you just need to fill certain holes? If so, then yeah, you don't take the best available. You already got a guy there. Then you're taking a best available at the position of need. This is a complete tear it down rebuild. There is the position of need is yes. It is everywhere. You take whoever you can. And I understand in that position, guards, we got a lot of them, but we don't know if any of those are going to stick. And if they're all good, great. You can move some of them and then fill those positions of need. I was absolutely fine with it, but Brian Butch wasn't. He thought that was a little bit of a head scratcher.
I'm a little confused. It just now feels like you're extremely heavy there for no reason, especially when you've had bigs that are available. Mara was available at 7'4". I know this team isn't competing for championships, but it's going to have to go through Wemby at some point.
Not necessarily. Who knows where Wemby's going to be in 5 to 6 years if this team has finally put all the pieces back together the way they need to, Butch?
Well, overall, though, it seems like Butchie was pretty happy.
True.
I mean, overall, I'm happy with the picks. I think when you look at this, you get a guy that is a flyer, and then Brandon Burries and what he's able to do, or Burries and what he's able to do is a guy that I think is a very, very safe pick, which ultimately you need. And I think there's some upside there. I think you can develop. A lot of those guards do, but I think the corner piece of what could be your future is Nate Ament. And I think that gives you a chance to find a superstar.
Hopefully.
I
feel like that's worse, though, for us than it's ever been in the past. Last night, we are dialed into the NBA draft. Okay. Way more than, I don't know, the last 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not going to replace the superstar right away, but hopefully one of those two guys last night turns into him, because you never know.
Right. I'm looking at just the overall history, statistics. You know, we talk about the first round picks that the Heat traded to us, that they already picked in the players that they picked. This guy was a first round pick. This guy was a first round pick. I mean, just because you're a first round pick, even if it's at 10 or 13, doesn't mean, hey, this guy's going to be your new face of the franchise. Like that was the difference, right? Giannis wasn't just a recognizable name that was going to sell jerseys. It was, this guy's top 5 in the world. That's a big difference.
We're not 15.
Correct. We're not finding out anytime soon if these guys or future picks or whoever if the Bucks have a top 5 or 10 player in the world. That's a long ways off.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. How's the Giannis hangover? And how are we feeling about the Bucks picks last night in the NBA draft? Scotty Tiffany said, well, a hangover implies you had a good time the night before. Not so much the case in this instance.
I love that.
And I can say from a hangover perspective, let's just not qualify it as a good time last night, but just in general. Like 13 years of Giannis Antetokounmpo,
sure,
gone. And that, when you party the way that Wisconsin did yesterday, whether for the good or for the bad. Listen, it's Wisconsin. We don't need a reason. It's, hey, oh man, somebody died. All right, let's go to the bar.
Right.
Or, whoa.
Hey, someone got married.
Let's go to the bar.
Right.
There's a high likelihood that somebody's hungover today because they were in their feels yesterday. And we're wondering simply, how'd you sleep?
Yeah.
Because drunk sleep sucks. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line.
Annie says, I am not mad at Giannis. I'm going to miss him terribly. It's going to be hard to see him in a different uniform, but it is what it is. Yeah, Annie, I'm with you on that. I think that it's if you are focusing and able to focus on the good times and what he did, then it's going to be difficult to see that out there. For me, I think it's going to be more difficult off the court stuff than it is on the court. Like, I expect him to still show up in ESPN top 10s, regardless of where he went. But the stuff hanging out with the families and being the goofy Giannis at all-star games and just with the media and stuff, that's the stuff that really hit home of him being different. And that's going to be a lot harder for me when it's not in Milwaukee.
And it's a different life in Miami. Have you ever been to South Beach?
No.
Go.
Okay.
It's a different planet.
Yeah.
I don't know what those people eat, but it's not what we eat.
Sure. Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah. Might have something to do with the weather.
The most electrifying sound of the day is next. We're inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. I want to tell you about my tattoo. Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We'll do that next.
It's time for
The most electrifying
sound of the day
The most electrifying
on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brought to you by Best Electric. Learn more at bestelect.com. Don't stress. Connect with the best.
Check swing. Yes, he did. That's 10 Ks for Brandon Sproat. Blake Dunn went too far. Just keeps adding to that career high to Sproat. Brandon Sproat with 6 scoreless innings, no walks, and 10 strikeouts. Second straight appearance for Brewers starter with that exact line. 6 innings, 1 hit, no walks, 10 Ks.
Brandon Sproat's night. Call courtesy of Brewers TV and Jeff Levering is the most electrifying sound of the day, brought to you by our friends at Best Electric. Remember, no job is too big or too small for Best Electric. Don't stress, connect with the best. Call them today or visit bestelect.com. You mentioned it earlier in the show, Trev. Crazy, not only that Sproat had his best start as a Brewer, but the exact same line as Woody. If you're a Cincinnati Reds fan, you're like, talk about rinse and repeat. Suck.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Bad night. Who's pitching tonight? Drowan? Who's this Drowan guy? Yeah, you wait. You just wait.
That's a jinx. Knock on everything.
Crap.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so what? I mean, they're 3-2, right? What are they right now? We're going to talk about this coming up in the Malott Meets Morning Mind Dump. Last night, by the way, like, is there a thing to this no jinx? Like, how do you feel about talking about a no-hitter?
I'm very superstitious, so I don't talk about it.
But you don't even, like, how do you tip off a friend that, like, you're going to want to turn on the...
I'm honestly cautious about it. Like, if we're not talking about it, I mean, maybe you say anybody watching the game, but even then, like, there've been way too many times where you say that and then you go, never mind. Doesn't matter if you are or not.
What inning do you start to take it seriously?
7th.
Do you take it serious in today's Major League Baseball, knowing full well that there's a very high likelihood that they're not going to let that guy keep going?
I think you're analyzing it in the 7th, right? If you see they're still there in the 7th, then you're going, oh boy, okay.
How many pitches are we at?
What's the pitch count at? How's he looking out there?
Third time through the lineup?
How many strikeouts does he have? You know, you're looking at those type of things to go, you know, oh boy, this could really be happening. And it's nice to have those conversations starting to happen for the Brewers and not against the Brewers. Remember when there was like a 2-week span where the Brewers almost got no hit, like 2 games?
Yeah.
And it was like into the 8th, I think. And it was, so nice to be on the other side of them for once.
We need a bat. The Malott Meets Morning Mind Dump is coming up here in a little bit. We want to break down the Brewers. Josh and I thought that if we would go 6-3 on this road trip, even though I wanted more wins in Atlanta, that seems to be plausible still. 3-2 so far. Cubs this weekend. How are we feeling with the day off tomorrow? And do you really think Pat Murphy's going to be in the dugout on Friday after a back procedure?
I would be stunned. If he's there, like, he's not moving, right? Like, he's sending someone else out to get pitchers, talk to someone.
He's already been doing that now. Chris Hook has been the guy because Murph can't move very well.
100%. And so I'm saying if that's the case, if he is there, that's still what's happening. I'm not expecting him at all to be making visits to the mound for any reason. If he's got a gripe with the ump, he's going to have to say, hey, ump, you come to me. Come here. I got to yell at you. Come here.
Yeah.
I can't come to you.
And you used to be able to look down the line and go, hey, Ricky, go deal with that.
No.
Hey, Vogelback. That would be fun.
Yeah, right.
Let's make him the ump arguer.
Yeah, he should be.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Do you have any ink?
I do
got
not.
Some cool tattoos. No. Do you want tattoos? Have you thought about it?
I've been thinking for a long time about some meaningful things that I'd want to get tattooed somewhere, but I can't. I'm too indecisive of deciding where and what it looks like, and I'm fat, and so then you think about, like, all right, it's flubby everywhere, and then it stretches and everything else, and so I've just never committed.
I've committed. I designed the tattoo that's been in the works for the last 3.5 years. And to your point, Josh, it's been a problem of indecisiveness. When I was first granted the permission because things like that in my relationship, in my marriage, are a joint decision, as well as shaving my beard off. Apparently, not allowed to do that until I have permission, which I never would.
Sure,
because you want to talk about fat. This thing covers some stuff.
Yep. I get it.
So I designed this tattoo. It's definitely a huge piece of my story. It's written pretty much in hieroglyphics because it's supposed to mean something to me and start conversation, which I think would be cool. It took a while because it's really permanent. And I'm also a baby. Somebody said to me over the weekend after I posted that to my Twitter at OnAirJosh, at Trevor Thomas IW on Twitter. They're like, oh, okay, so which piece of that are you going to be cool with if you're not able to finish? And I was like, what do you mean?
There is no not finish.
It doesn't work.
Right.
He's like, oh, dude, that's a spot on my right forearm. They're like, a lot of veins, thin skin.
I have never heard that as a thing.
Apparently, when you get close to the wrist.
No, not the pain part of it. I've never heard of someone that decides to get one and then like halfway through chickens out. And then that's the worst. Then you have to say what the tattoo is. Goes, well, it's a fourth of what it's supposed to be. Oh my God. No, you gotta knock me out, punch me in the face and finish this thing.
So you're not supposed to rub your leg when you get beamed in softball, right? Or baseball. You don't rub that. You just, no, I'm fine.
Yeah.
There's this numbing cream that apparently works pretty well for tattoos.
Okay.
Does that make me a baby? Because I'm a baby.
Well, I don't care about that. But when you get it, you got to get the whole thing.
I agree. But then
you can't
can we numb
cut
it?
out early.
Is that allowed? Like, there's people that put this cream on and they get all the tattoos they want. There's a lot of people, though, that are like, you wuss.
No,
sit through the
care.
pain.
I don't care about that at all. Just get it. Just get through it. Don't you dare come back on the show and go, well, so here's the thing. I made it through about 10 minutes and backed out.
That would be the most Trevor thing ever. It really would. I have a 4 and a pink flamingo. What happened? I cried. That's what happened.
Yikes.
The Malott Meets Morning Mind Dump is next. How do we feel about the Crew on this 9-game span of games that started in Atlanta and is currently going on still in Cincinnati at Great American Ballpark? Another game tonight. Then they get out of Dodge. Off day tomorrow. Cubs coming in Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where the Brewers will wear their Wisco uniforms all weekend long. So how are we feeling about the Crew? 414-677-1250. The Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. Back at the top of the hour on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa!
Bowers a high chopper. It's a fair ball headed towards the corner. Vaughn is on the move. Vaughn will be sent around third. The ball gets away. Bowers heads for third base. The Brewers take a 1-0 lead on the triple by Jake Bowers. Check swing. Yes, he did. That's 10 Ks for Brandon Sprode. Vaughn, a high fly into right center. Back is done on the warning track to make the catch. Everybody's trying to tag, and they will. It's a sac fly for Vaughn. Fly ball right center. Sal Frelick gives way to Mitchell. Ball game over. The Brewers shut out the Reds. A 2-0 final. Sprott unbelievable and just enough offense to win the series.
It's felt like just enough offense the last week.
Mm-hmm.
Just enough offense to stay in the game. Just enough offense to win. Minus that 1 9-run game in Atlanta, but
The only one. Yeah.
Too late.
Right. But
Audio.
I'll take that. Give me that. Give me just enough.
Better than just too little.
That's right.
What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome in Hour 2 Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
All of you on the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. Live on YouTube, Twitter, the Gram.
Yep. Facebook. Yep.
Facebook. And live now for the Malott Meats Morning Mind Dump. The process today is processing where the Brewers are at. How are we feeling about the pitching performances in the last week? How are we feeling about the hitting performances or lack thereof in the last week? Get it all off your chest and out of your head. Time for the Malott Meats Morning Mind Dump.
I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me.
The coffee is kicked in. We're awake and ready to roll. Let's get some things off our chest and out of our heads.
You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you. It is an up at dawn, pride-swallowing siege that I will never fully tell you about, okay?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
I'm in a glass case of emotion!
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
We've got no food, we've got no jobs, our pets' heads are falling off!
It's time for the Morning Mind Dump, presented by Malott Meats. High-quality meats at a fair price, safely delivered to your front door. To learn more, visit WisconsinMeatMarket.com. Experience the power of the family meal with Malott Meats on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
High-quality meats at a fair price delivered right to your door. WisconsinMeatMarket.com. The meat of the month is actually meats of the month. Plural. Burgers, brats, hot dogs, the Grill Master Box, the Jumbo Grill Master Box. Get there now, WisconsinMeatMarket.com. Plenty of time to place your order and make sure that your 4th of July barbecue, grill, and party, wherever you are, will be perfect for everyone with Malott Meats. Perfect for everyone seems to be the way that the pitching has gone for the Milwaukee Brewers. The only reason that there were 2 games that they didn't win in Atlanta is because the hitting hasn't exactly been going well. The Brewers' pitching is off the charts. I mean, absolutely absurd performances by Miz, Harrison, Gasser, Woody, Sprott, maybe Drowan tonight, but it turns into a 5-man rotation after this. And yet, the Brewers, so far through 5 games, are 3-2. And there's only 1 win where they scored anything more than something of 2 or 3 runs. So how do we assess where the Brewers are at right now? And I think it starts with pitching, Josh. And we talked about this at the top of the show. Fancy concept when you have a good starter that gets you through 6 and you put Aaron Ashby in the right spot. And then Abner Uribe comes in and makes all of us hold our breath. And then Trevor McGill comes in for the save. It's a W. And yet T3 on the Nicolay Law talk and text line, 414-677-1250, reminds us that, is it me or should we not be happy with Abner Uribe? More like you let somebody on base again, every single time you pitch. That is the only piece to this that has me holding my breath. Other than that, hitting, okay. Pitching, really good. Run scoring, base running, taking advantage of errors, all of that's going really well for the Brewers. It's just that weird closer situation that we're not quite sure on.
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest headline. I'm not as set in stone as you are with how things are. I mean, listen, Brandon Sproat had a fantastic game last night, right? That's undeniable. But that was his first game all season, I believe, without giving up a run. I mean, before that, even in the win, he gave up he had 4 earned runs in his last start against Cleveland. And then he had 1 run, 3 runs, 5 runs. He's sitting at, I believe, a 5-point-something ERA. It was not that long ago that Murph was very unhappy with Sproat and saying something needs to change. This is unacceptable. We're trying to make a real run here.
Good news.
Right. So we had a good one. I'm not confident that that's plateaued, that's where we want it to be, and that we're still not kind of on a ebb and flow thing there. And then you look at Woody come back. Heck yeah. Amazing start. I'm not immediately sitting here going, okay, so wash our hands of that. We're fine there. We can move on. I still want to see how is it the next time, the time after. Do I have to worry about his health after 2 or 3 starts? So you have the thoughts there. And then when you go to the hitting, I think it's just, this is why I stress how important it is in the game of baseball to just have your bats be hot at the right time. Because it seems like you look at this team in May, and then you look at this team in June as far as production at the plate, and it's okay. So you had a good month, and now you're having an okay month. And then maybe July, you're having a great month again, or who knows. But I think that's the tough part, is consistent hitting for any team is difficult. And so you really just need it to be that the bats are hot at the right time. Right now, I would say the bats are not hot. They're just still continuing to find ways, for the most part, to win.
In the last 5 games, Bryce Terang is batting .318. William Contreras, .350. Jack, 190. Cooper Pratt, since he's been called up, 286. Andrew Vaughn's at .333, and it kind of goes downhill from there, as you'd expect. But pitching the last 5 games, in terms of trends, is actually absurd. And I think the biggest stat from a pitching perspective over the last 5 games are twofold. One, each of the starters got us through 6 innings.
Yeah, that's huge.
Huge. And 2, how many walks do you think the starters have thrown, Josh, combined in the last 5 games? Guess.
Say that one more time.
How many total walks over the last 5 games have the starting pitchers thrown for the Milwaukee Brewers?
3.
2.
Oh, man.
But even 3, dude.
Well, I knew that it was the last 2. So the 2 starts. I didn't know about the ones before that. Yeah, but that's incredible, right? That's absolutely insane.
31 strikeouts. They all got us through 6 and only through 2 walks. And from an earned run perspective, 246. That's it. 19th, 20th, and 21st, Miz, Harrison, Gasser all gave up 2 earned runs. But the last 2 starts for Brandon Woodruff and Brandon Sproat, they didn't even barely give up a hit, let alone any runs. And so the Nicolay Law talk and text line, 414-677-1250, constantly reminds us why we can't have nice things. And getting it off your chest and out of your head is what this is all about. And the 920 says, I am still screaming from the top of the mountain, hoping Matt Arnold will acknowledge, yes, the prospects are great, but we need to balance out the future with the now. We need a big bat and a pen arm, or it feels like early exit in October is coming again. And so that's been the argument for some time, and it's convenient right now to look at the batting averages of the last 5 games of players and hits and runs and going, uh-oh. And to your point, we can't have them both hot at the same time, apparently, but does now matter? Or do we still have time to fix the now, to address the now? Others are like, what are we doing? I don't understand the question. The Brewers are in first. Let's get on with our life. Okay.
Yeah.
And
also we're looking ahead to the goal, the end goal. Are we set up right now the best we can be to win it? That was exactly why the Brave series was so important to you, because you were looking at it like this is a test of, yeah, we're winning now. Will we win then? When we're going up against another powerhouse in their stadium, right? We're on the road. Are we at a point in which we can take that series, that we can leave that mark? And it sure didn't look like it.
No.
Right? There were just too many things that happened. And I'm telling you, my big worry based on that series wasn't the fact that they lost, it's how they lost. You still had two great starting pitching performances, and you came away with L's because you couldn't put enough runs on the board, and then you ended up blowing it at the end. I know they say, well, they gave up, they had 3 runs in the game that Harrison pitched. Ashby blew that. Yeah, sometimes 3's not going to be enough.
Rarely ever is 3 enough in a baseball game. The way that the scoring has been over the last 5 games, probably the lowest scoring 5-game stretch all season. But the Brewers need to score more than 3 runs, and sometimes more than 4. And so what's good enough, Josh? If you're going to have the starting pitching performances that we've had, it is not reasonable or realistic to think that we're going to continue to shut out teams or even keep teams at 1 run or even 2 runs. This is baseball. That's not how this goes. And so if that's the case from pitching, then our hitting has to back us up. And we've been lucky, maybe is the right term, to have the pitching performances that we've had because we're not scoring the runs.
Right. I mean, you look at the game last night, even you had, let's be honest, it was a bloop triple. Like when you think about triples, that's not a textbook triple that Bowers had last night. That was a high chopper that should have, usually when you hear calls, high chopper, it's a out. It's a, and throw to first is in time. This one just happened to get over his head. They weren't playing for it. It was a slow roller. It worked out. But that was your big one. And then he had a sac fly, which is how a lot of the runs have been scored for the Brewers as of late. It really came down to pitching. Even if you have the hard hit balls, again, if you're not having the power to have them leave the ballpark, I don't care if guys are batting 350. If we're leaving guys on second and third every inning, it doesn't matter. They got to get home. Doesn't count if they don't get home.
Well, speaking of getting them home, that's been a struggle as well. With runners in scoring position is a stat. Going into game 1 in Atlanta, the Brewers had the greatest runners in scoring position average in Major League Baseball. Since the second inning on Sunday, the Brewers have been 0-19 with runners in scoring position. Ouchie.
Mm-hmm.
That's from the 262 on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line 414-677-1250. We didn't get taken to the woodshed in Atlanta. We haven't taken anyone else to the woodshed since. 9-4, 8 runs in the second, and then the bats disappear again in game 3 in Atlanta. And the bats haven't necessarily shown, 2 yesterday.
Yep.
Like 2 main pieces. One was a sac fly. So as they finish up in Cincy tonight, Drowan's on the mound. They've already won the series. This is when I feel like Murph gets a little shifty and sometimes a little too much, in my opinion. How important, Josh, is tonight's game going into the off day, but a 3-game set against the Cubs this weekend at AmFam?
I think it's huge. I think it's huge because I'm not expecting to sweep the Cubs. God, I'd love it, but I'm not expecting it. And I still want them to get to that 6-3 number for these 9 games. So you lost 2 there. Let's finish this. Also, just the way that baseball works, I'm expecting. I don't know what the over under is, but I take the over tonight. Just
yeah.
I think I think the ball leaves the ballpark a few times. So I expect runs to happen. That's just the way that baseball usually goes.
Cubs are 7.5 games back of the Brewers in 3rd place in the National League Central. Cardinals are ahead of them, 6 games back. The Brewers are nearly 20 games above 500. 1 game short, 6-4 in their last 10. But this is the difference, I think, Josh. They're 23-14 on the road this season so far. When you win on the road, more times than not, that's how you win divisions, and that's how you set yourself up for success in the playoffs. We say a lot that 500 on the road would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, right now, we're 3-2 on the road.
I mean,
we'll take that.
We will. In my mind, it doesn't matter. On the road, at home, doesn't matter if you're winning the series. Just keep focusing on winning series, right? And Jeff Levering has even started, if you hear the final calls, which we play in the recap every morning, he's started saying when they secure the series with a win in game 2 of a 3-game set, he'll say they win the series. He'll say it now. Yep, that secures the series win, because that has been key all season long. This team has not been one that has a 12-game winning streak, itching and scratching for that, but they're winning series consistently, and that's a much bigger deal.
Winning at home is important too, and the Brewers have done that pretty well. It's not abnormal in baseball to see the away record much closer to 500, if not below 500, yet in this case, the Brewers are 25-15 at home. And as you go down the division, clearly the wins and losses change. The Reds are currently 37-41, but even that record is not horrendous.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, all in all, I think we can sit here and say the Brewers are doing great, right? We are not complaining about the productivity with the Brewers right now. They're finding ways to win. We say that every day. Just keep winning, right? That is the key. But we do have bigger aspirations, and we realize what this team has the potential to do. And so that's what has us diving deeper and mind dumping about this Brewers team of what is that little piece? What is that maybe one thing that we are kind of worrying about? Do we think that'll work itself out, or do we need someone to work it out for us? That's where we're at.
How do you like Joey O at third?
I mean, let me tell you, he's had some great defensive plays, the same as he did at shortstop. So
why? I'm all of a sudden nervous about his throwing ability. Does that not look off from third? He's pulled Jake Bauers off the bag a little bit. He's making him do weird maybe the short and third throw is massively different, but
I'm sure it is.
Stabbing the crap out of the ball at third.
Right.
Not much has gotten by him. I'm like, but that seems to be working.
Yeah. If you could have like a designated fielder position,
why can't
in baseball, that would be great.
That seems reasonable.
Right. Like just designated hitter is going to be in place of the designated fielder. Let's change that baseball rule when baseball goes on strike. That'd be good.
When baseball goes on strike. Is it
lockout,
a strike or a lockout?
Whatever. Yeah. When there's no baseball.
All right. It's a Would You Rather Wednesday. And it's a Doug Gottlieb Wednesday. He's scheduled to appear and confirmed to appear at 8 a.m. this morning here on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. But before that, we ask you, what would you rather? 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. You answer ours, we answer yours. And we'll do that next on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Participate in the X Golf Hole-in-One Challenge with the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network down at Summerfest. Sparky's there. Wisconsin Sports Daily broadcasting live tomorrow afternoon starting at 2. Tee up 3 balls for $10 for a chance to hit a hole-in-one. The first person to do so wins $5,000. And based on that read that came through early this morning, that hasn't happened yet.
Did not happen in the first weekend, no.
So we'll see you down there then at the X Golf Hole-in-One Challenge at Summerfest with the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. That's because you haven't been able to do it yet.
Yeah, that's exactly why. No, the bar is much lower for me.
I made that putt, I froze. If you make a hole-in-one, I hope you jump in the lake.
Right. Yep. 100%. I'm losing my mind. There's no turnaround, throw my hands up like, are you not entertained? I promise you that will not happen.
Did I tell you I did it again?
Yeah.
Did you see the?
Yeah. The video you did in like the hallway, right? At work? Yeah.
And I did it again. I froze again. I was like, there was a piece of me that's going, what's happening?
Right.
I'm not a good golfer.
Well, maybe this is like a side gig for you. You know, you can travel the countryside making long putts.
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh on a Would You Rather Wednesday. Josh, let's start with the Nicolay Law talk and text line. 414-677-1250. One came in that's pretty damn good. Telekinesis versus telepathy. Telekinesis is moving things with your mind. Telepathy is being able to read minds. So would you rather have telekinesis or telepathy?
Wait, say which one is which again?
Telepathy is reading minds. Telekinesis is moving things with your mind. So like you can look at something in the room. It's the force.
Yeah, having the force or reading someone's mind.
Right. Or what is the movie? Mel Gibson did a movie, right?
What Women Want.
That's right.
Yeah. Man, that's a really good one because the lazy man says the force for sure. I don't want to get the remote. Get over here. There it is. In life, you're probably more successful if you can read minds and be able to be a step ahead of your competition in every single facet. I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm going to go with the force. Give me the force.
I want the force too.
Yeah.
For all of the reasons why I don't want telepathy. Do you know how loud it is in this head alone?
Well, and that's the thing, right? The clarification of you can't ask side questions, but can you turn it on and off? If in What Women Want, Mel Gibson can't turn it off. He's hearing it even when he doesn't want to. If I have to hear it no matter what, that's a pain in the butt. If I can just like turn it on and be like, yeah, I want to know what he's thinking right now. Oh,
yeah, but what if you didn't want to know? I got to be honest. There's a lot of times when the Nicolay Law talk and text line 414-677-1250 tells us exactly what's going on in their head, and I don't like it.
Yeah, it's true. That's what I'm saying. You got to be able to turn it off.
Choosing violence this morning, you guys. My goodness, that's the honest hangover I'm talking about.
Grumpy pants.
People woke up grumpy. All right, you go.
All right. Would you rather go to Boston or Miami?
Am I vacationing or playing basketball?
Would you rather go to Boston or Miami?
I've been to Miami. I want to go to Boston.
Okay. I would rather go to Miami. In general, I'm thinking I'm going to Miami.
I don't like hot.
I also don't love hot.
Stephen A. Smith was an a-hole yesterday.
Oh, he sure
Shocker.
was. I didn't even want to pull the audio.
I know. I saw it too, and I'm like, I'm not playing that.
Frick. Yeah.
Moving from Miami to Milwaukee, man, I consider retirement. First off, F you. Secondly, it's not that bad. I would much rather have winter here in Wisconsin than summer in Miami.
I don't know how humid it is in Miami, but yeah, right.
Stupid humid.
Yeah, it gets super hot. I agree.
It's like tropics.
Yeah. I would never leave the house. Although I never leave the house in winter either, so I don't know.
Well, we've had this conversation, though. Would you rather be too hot or too cold?
Right. Can always put more clothes on.
I think Boston's a beautiful area of the country, too. I've never been to the New England area outside of, I don't think New York is qualified.
Yeah, I also have not been to Boston. I'm sure it's a wonderful area. I just never been there. Okay, your turn.
Summer vacation. Are you going to the Northwoods, spending it on a lake, or are you going to go hang out in Door County with all the fibs?
Ooh, I grew up going up north and going to Rhinelander and Minocqua and the Northwoods, and it's just, to me, that's truly is God's country. Like, that is it forces you to slow down, puts life in perspective. It's everything. I think that once a year, everyone should be required to take a couple of days minimum in the Northwoods to just put your whole life in perspective.
Just stand on the shore of a Northwoods lake and tell me your life isn't better.
Yep, I agree with that.
That's what we're doing for the 4th. That's what we do for the 4th every single year. We go to the Northwoods and we just be still.
That's
then the
awesome.
drive home sucks.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody and their mother is like, all right, back to reality.
Right, everyone's going home. Hey, would you rather watch Giannis win a championship in Miami or Rodgers win a championship in Pittsburgh?
Whoa. You know how I feel about that, I think.
I know that you don't really like either guy, so...
I didn't like what Giannis became. I didn't like all the noise that surrounded Giannis. I didn't like that he said things and did. It got old. Same thing with Rodgers, though. It's the exact same reason. I cannot handle Aaron Rodgers winning the Super Bowl. I will take a championship in the NBA with Giannis at the Heat.
I am 100% taking Rodgers. Not only just because I'm a Giannis stan, but there's more that goes into it. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing Big Mike get another one if it wasn't going to happen for the Packers. I got nothing against Mike McCarthy.
I don't either. I really like him, actually.
Right.
He's still a resident of Northeast Wisconsin here, and I mean, you see him around town. He's nothing but cordial.
Right. So that's a big factor for me. Plus, I don't think if Rodgers gets another one, like at this point in his career, knowing that this is the swan song, I don't think that it changes it to where now, like, he's remembered more as a Steeler than he is a Packer.
Oh, I don't care about that. If you're going to use the Wisconsin teams in perspective, if the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers are winning the Super Bowl, it means the Packers aren't. And
Sure.
I don't like that. Now, if another NBA team wins the finals and the Bucks aren't, maybe that's my expectations. I have expectations that the Packers could very well make me eat crow.
Sure.
I do not have those same expectations for the Bucks.
Yeah.
That I would really hate. Now, what makes this worse is imagine those two teams against each other in the Super Bowl. That makes me want to puke.
Yeah. Well, and it is possible. It is possible that could happen, right? You're never going to see the Heat and the Bucks in the finals. Same conference.
From the 920, would you rather take a fastball to the shin or the forearm?
Oh.
Did you see, by the way, the play last night in the Brewers game where their starting pitcher took one off the throwing hand and stayed in the game?
I did see that.
Stupid.
Yeah, that was wild. I'm going to go forearm. I mean, you ever been lightly kicked in the shin? God, it sucks.
You ever just bang your shin on the corner of your bed when you're walking?
Oh, the
smoke
worst.
me in the forearm.
Right.
Fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me the forearm.
You ever seen these guys walk around the back of their truck and smash their shin into the tongue of the tailgate?
Oh, yeah. Yes. I've done that. Have you never done that? Oh, I've done that. Yeah.
And
it sucks.
First
worst.
off, never done that alone. Heaven forbid I do that alone. No. Nope. It's usually, ironically, at the boat dock at the lake with everybody watching. And then I want to be pissed at everybody else. But I can't be.
We can't.
It's me.
Yep. Hey, if we're talking about injuring ourselves and just pain, how about this one? Would you rather take a body slam or a flying elbow?
I've always wanted to take a bump. That didn't come out right. We're talking about wrestling. I've always wanted to take a bump in the wrestling ring.
Yes. Oh, that'll
There's
be a
your
promo. You bet. Woo! That was
We're talking
awesome.
about wrestling.
Yep, sure are. Hey, even in wrestling, it could still mean what.
I'll take a body slam. I'll tell you, either way, you're taking a bump, but I'll take a body slam. I don't know. When I watch wrestling, I'm like, I want to know what that feels like.
I don't know what it is. I mean, especially, listen, when you see a lot of the flying elbows, you're going more into their armpit, right? Like if the elbow actually hit you in the chest, that would be, you're going to be injured. I like the idea of me already being on the ground. when the pain is happening, I like the idea of me being on the ground already and not having gravity. You can't fake gravity, right? Like gravity's a thing. So if you're picking me up and you're slamming me down, gravity is now part of it. I'll take the flying elbow.
Fireworks.
Ooh.
Would you rather go and see a fireworks display with thousands of your closest friends or light up a couple sparklers and call it good?
I like a good fireworks show. So, and I'm not someone also that like spends $100 and lights them off myself. I like the city or the town or whatever has invested money in a good show. I'm here to see it. I like fireworks.
The 262, that's a drop. Yep, sure is.
Yep, ain't going nowhere.
My wife loves firework displays, but we get one every year at Celebrate the Pier on Memorial Day weekend, and therefore we don't really have to seek out. She just wants to see them once. They're great. I've never been to the Summerfest fireworks or I think what used to be called the
Big Bang.
Bang, right?
Yeah, which was how they started off Summerfest. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's different.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the Disney World fireworks once.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything that compares.
Yeah, I mean they're amazing. They also factor in a few other things, right? There's like music and things that go. It's not when you go to a lot of 4th of July, it's just boom,
Yeah.
boom. There's nothing else.
What is the point of those flashbangs? That's not a firework.
Right,
That's
just to be loud.
Scary.
Yeah, I agree.
This one might make you pass out, and it also might be a no-brainer.
Okay.
Would you rather, and you can only choose one, I think I know the answer. Summerfest or State Fair?
State Fair. But it's close. But it's closer than you think it would be. I think the big reason for me is when Summerfest changed after COVID. As a kid, especially like a young adult, teenager in my 20s, I used to go to Summerfest every day. It wasn't about, seeing a band. It was which band are we going to see? I liked the old format, having it be that, week and a half straight of shows, not we're going to break it up into 3 weekends. I'm busy on the weekends. It's the summer in Wisconsin. Weekends are full. I like the idea of taking a Tuesday or a Wednesday night when I've got nothing else going on and going to a show. So for me, that's why State Fair.
That's fair. I think I would choose Summerfest just because there's so many different options for live music. I know there's music at State Fair. We've been there. We've seen some of our favorite artists in the infield, right?
Mm-hmm.
They set up on the track.
Yep.
I feel all of the things that you just said about Summerfest and the weekends only. And we've looked at the lineups. There's just, I don't know, maybe it's my lack of music knowledge, but this year's Summerfest lineups outside of the main ones seemed light to me with big names.
No, you're not wrong. And that has, I felt like 2 years ago that was the case too. And then last year I felt like it got a little bit better. But that's also the problem with the weekends is then it seems like, oh, okay, this weekend has a bunch of bands I want to see. And then the next weekend, there's nobody. If you could spread that out a little bit, then I'd go every weekend. It's, and obviously that's not how it works. And that's got to fit into the band's tour schedule and everything else. There's a lot that goes into it, but you're not wrong about that. It's also us getting older,
Because we don't know the newer. Yeah.
Right. That's part of it.
All right, one more, then we'll break. There's some really good ones on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line, so keep those coming. We'll get to those after this.
Okay. One more for me here. Would you rather keep Tyler Hero or keep Ryan Rollins?
That's not fair because I don't know Tyler Hero's game as much as we watched Ryan Rollins kind of come out of his shell this past year.
Well, he came out of his shell this year, and Tyler Hero is supposed to be a more proven shooter.
Are they going to get along?
I don't know.
I think Ryan Rollins.
Agreed. Yep.
You got something against Hero.
I'm kind of in the same boat as everyone. Listen, the biggest problem I have with him is still his contract. I don't think that you have enough time for him to prove that he's going to embrace Milwaukee and be what he needs to be before you'd have to pay him. And I don't think he's worth you paying him when you're going through a rebuild.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. Would you rather continues? I've got more, and you guys have a bunch. We're back in a bit, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tattoo on the forearm or the chest?
Ooh.
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. A Would You Rather Wednesday on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. So would you rather get a tattoo on your forearm like I'm planning to do or on your chest, Josh?
I mean, come on, that's an easy one for me.
Chest?
No, you can't even read it on my chest. Be all lumpy. You can't do that with man boobs.
Oh, I was like, what are you, I was about to say, are you a bumpy fella?
Well, yes. Yeah. If you're flat chested, makes that a lot easier. No, give me the forearm.
My buddy Andy, who I believe has a chest tattoo, and he's definitely got an arm tattoo, says arm tattoo, chest tattoo, ouchie.
Okay, so there you go.
Neck tattoo from our guy that does the intro to Inside Wisconsin Sports,
Cody Rose.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, don't give me one of those.
Nope. Beer or bourbon?
Ooh.
I know. Writing it, I got weird.
Oh, I don't like that.
You can only have one. Of all of the things. Wait. You are glitching, but I'm the drinker?
I need time. I can't answer this.
I feel like this would change if it was the middle of the winter.
Yeah. I guess bourbon. Oh, no. Because I'm not going to have bourbon on like a boat or I hate this question. This is the worst would you rather you've ever asked.
Sorry, it was really simple too.
What's yours?
Beer.
Okay.
Yeah. So I love bourbon, but you're already making the case as to why I chose beer. I'm not tailgating with bourbon. I'm not on a boat with bourbon.
Yeah.
I'm not really jonesing for a bourbon after I mow the lawn on a hot day. I want an ice cold Miller Lite or a summer shandy.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's all warm weather. All those examples are warm weather.
That's my problem.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, no. Let's spin it. You're at a Packers game. You're tailgating. It's the middle of the winter. It's cold as hell.
Yes.
Do you want a beer or a bourbon?
No, I still want a beer.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Can I change?
I know. Yeah.
Okay, beer.
Mine's beer too, but I really do like bourbon.
I did not like that question.
I really like bourbon that's pricey. That's my problem. Miller Lite, not pricey.
Yeah, right. Wisconsin water. Yeah.
Bloated.
Sure.
That tastes like beer. You got another one?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, which would you rather watch, the World Cup or day 2 of the NBA draft, the second round?
Hold on. This is embarrassing. How many rounds of the NBA draft are there?
Oh, boy. Let you figure that one out.
Are there 2 or 3? 2. Okay. Oh, man. So I see your bourbon and beer angst, and I raise you.
Soccer or basketball draft? Yeah.
The NBA specifically. Oh, man. The World Cup. If it wasn't the World Cup, I'd be in a real pinch. But
you're lucky I didn't say a non-USA game, too.
That would have been a real problem. Mm-hmm. Well, even then, there's something different about the World Cup. But at the same token, I see zero value in spending any time thinking about round 2 of the NBA draft. And if Giannis wouldn't have been traded, and we wouldn't have had 2 picks in last night's draft,
I
feel
paying attention?
Equally as don't care about the NBA draft last night as well.
Yeah. Yep. Scott Brandt on Facebook watching us said, hopefully it is the trading of Turner and Hero that happens tonight that we see in night 2 of the NBA draft.
Crap. Well, when you put it like that,
mm-hmm.
it is fun when the Bucks have stuff going.
Right, when they're a part of it. And what do they say about drafts? If your team's not a part of it, it usually means that your team is doing pretty damn well in the season, right? It's the teams that are struggling or rebuilding that are highlighted.
To the Nicolay Law Talking text line, 414-677-1250. There's some good ones. We'll rattle through a few of these, Josh, before we get to the top of the hour and welcome in our friend Doug Gottlieb just after 8. Jacob in a van, big breakfast or big dinner?
Big breakfast.
Big breakfast. I hate trying to sleep when I'm full.
Yeah.
And I really like breakfast.
I'm usually Mr. Extreme when it comes to breakfast too. I'm either having a big old breakfast or no breakfast.
Different person. All you can eat Mexican food or all you can eat Italian food?
This is a tricky one. I think I might be going Italian. I feel like I get a lot of, like, I enjoy Mexican food, but I'm not doing like all you can eat Mexican or like a Mexican buffet.
The way I'm viewing this is you have a buffet.
Right.
You have a buffet of Mexican food and you have a buffet of Italian food.
Like what, like a ton of rice and beans? And
could be. Yeah, but you can also make nachos. You could make tacos. You can make a burrito. You
Sure.
could have
I don't know. For some reason, that seems like a weird buffet type option. So I'm going to go Italian.
Mine's Mexican food because I will eat all of the Italian food, literally all of it. And then I'll pay for it for about 3 days.
So you're doing it to prevent future damage.
Pain, yeah.
That's why you're choosing that. Got it.
Yes.
Got it.
I'm 68 years old. When I was growing up, tattoos were only for people who were in the military. Anti-tattoo. Okay? It's fair.
Well, anti-tattoo for you. Essentially.
Not military.
Right.
What'd you see?
Trevor's troll. Beer or Diet Sprite? Oh, that's tough.
What day of the week is it? Confession.
No.
Monday night. It was hot. Summer shandy. Patio.
Okay. Oh, and then you worked.
See?
What? What's that about?
Turning over a new leaf.
Look at you. Look at you being able to have some beverages and still work the next day. I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
That's growth.
It's the little things.
That's growth right there, folks.
DG, it's Wednesday. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh and Doug Gottlieb when we get back on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up, I'm home. Whoa!
Bowers a high chopper. It's a fair ball headed towards the corner. Vaughn is on the move. Vaughn will be sent around third. The ball gets away. Bowers heads for third base. The Brewers take a 1-0 lead on the triple by Jake Bowers. Check swing. Yes, he did. That's 10 Ks for Brandon Sprode. Vaughn a high fly into right center. Back is done on the warning track to make the catch. Everybody's trying to tag, and they will. It's a sac fly for Vaughn. Fly ball right center. Sal Frelick gives way to Mitchell. Ball game over. The Brewers shut out the Reds. A 2-0 final. Sprode unbelievable and just enough offense to win the series.
Audio courtesy of Jeff Levering, Brewers TV. Another series win indeed for the Brewers over the Reds. And one hell of a night for Brandon Sprode. Inside Wisconsin Sports on your radio and online at YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and all the things. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
Also live on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. The studio is powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. And on Wednesdays, he joins us at 8 a.m. and mostly for 2 segments. And it's a blast. It is an absolute blast. On the guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Our guy, Doug Gottlieb. Happy Wednesday, DG.
Happy Wednesday.
Well, it's happy for a lot of people because they choose happiness in life. And then there's people that love Giannis that are, it's going to be a minute. What's your take?
I mean, I guess it had to be done. I don't know. That's how it operates in the sports world. But I don't think it's a great trade. I thought they did a great job last night. I thought they got 2 very talented kids in Ament and Burries, and if one of the 2 of them hit, it's a great draft. You know, unfortunately, they were out of that top 10 where you felt really, really confident. But again, they're not that far off. I didn't love the trade. I know some of the guys that made the trade didn't love the trade because what did you get back in return in terms of what you know, right? And I don't know how I think there'll be some really cool parts about the hero thing, but I think that's one that'll be hard to part ways with at some point, which feels like inevitable just because he's a really, really talented player, but I don't think he can be your best player and do anything in the playoffs. I just don't. So, you know, that means you have to create something around him, and I think eventually they'll get there. So it's a refresh, it's a reboot, and it's a restart. They're not going to be very good. They're going to play the young kids, and they're going to try and figure it out. I think the only thing you can do is go, hey, God, we killed it before with the Giannis thing. It was an amazing run, and now we got to kind of move on to the next.
So I want to get your opinion, DG, on these guys, these 2 guys, and break that down a little bit more of why you think they're great pieces for the Bucks' future. But first, Tyler Hero being with the Bucks, I thought didn't make sense, even if you like Tyler Hero. He's got 1 year left on his contract, and he's not a new face of the franchise. He's a piece you add to build around a face of the franchise. He's not the face of the franchise. It just seems like it's the wrong time in the Bucks organization to have a guy like Tyler Hero. You're using him now when you're trying to rebuild. Now's not when you're trying to add a piece to win a championship.
Well, again, but an expiring contract is super, super valuable. And however long he's in Milwaukee, he's a hometown kid who there is a reason to go to the games. And again, you'll see, right? If you've like, all right, this is the guy we want to kind of build around. I don't think that's what you do. And again, it makes it probably more painful when you ultimately move him. But I do think it's an asset with that expiring contract from a guy who can play. There's this thing that we have done, and having done sports radio frankly, longer than you, Josh, and probably longer than you, Trevor, is, and I tried to not do this. It's the all or nothing, right? I'm not saying Tyler Hero can't play. I'm saying he's not a superstar where you can build around him. And I think we all kind of agree there, right? But he's a very valuable asset because he's a dude who can go and get you buckets. He is an absolutely fearless scorer. Fearless. So I think the only proper way to do is to think, okay, did they bring him in? So if this is the thought, sell some tickets when we're not very good, and then trade deadline, we move him and we get more picks or more young assets that we can continue to build around. I think that's a reasonable way to do it. Otherwise, yeah, it's not a very good trade. That's the only way I think you can look at it. Now, the problem with the contract extension is, like, again, if you sign with a contract extension, it's really hard. Then it becomes harder and harder to move because he's going to sit there and look around the room and go, well, I'm the best guy here, so I should be paid more money than everybody else, which is fairly accurate. But then you get to a place where now it becomes harder and harder to add players. I mean, Milwaukee has to do it through the draft. They just do. You know, I have good friends in Oklahoma City, and they've confided for a long time. It doesn't matter how cool Milwaukee is. It's a great city. You know, it's kind of Chicago North. It's getting more and more connected. Amazing place to live. An amazing place to be a star. Just ask Giannis. He felt like he didn't really want to leave, except he really wanted to go to Miami. But it's hard to land. Like, guys just aren't landing free agents in Milwaukee. That's just not what they do. Just isn't. So you got to build kind of organically and strategically, and then add pieces as you go along.
Appearance by Barty.
No, this is Odell Beckham Jr. There's two sheepadoodles on this year residence. So
okay, got it. Doug Gottlieb, Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Wisconsin's all I've ever known, and when our big superstars leave, we don't handle it well. You know more. You've been in sports radio, to your point, for decades, and you've seen a superstar or two leave. Yet you're here in Wisconsin, and one just left. Is it different here, or is it just because we have a level of patriotism that is unmatched?
I think, I mean, again, I'm very familiar with Oklahoma City's market. I'm pretty familiar with Milwaukee's market. I think these markets are very similar, you know, in they shouldn't be as successful as they've been based upon, you know, players' wants, desires, how much money the franchises can make. Like, it's nothing short of a massive upset that the Knicks hadn't won a title since the 60s, right? Like, it's crazy. Think about the Knicks now, because I don't think we've talked since they won it, right? Where the Knicks, they tried everything. They hired Larry Brown, Pat Riley, Jeff Van Gundy, Phil Jackson. Like, you cannot get better NBA coaches than guys that they hired. Not all of them were great, but again, the spirit of it was good. You know, they tried a young team, they tried Melo, they tried a little bit of everything, and now, you know, how many years? 67 years later, they finally win a title. Like, it's crazy that it took them that long. So for markets the size of Milwaukee, of Oklahoma City, San Antonio is really growing, but we'll throw San Antonio in there. Those organizations have been so good to overcome the fact that you can't really get a free agent to buy in, that you sort of take it for granted, but you're also way more emotionally tied. You know, Wisconsin is, and I would say it's just like Oklahoma City. It's like more of a college market, a college feel. You really love the players. Their spouses, their kids, they become one of your community. It's a different feel. I totally agree. It's actually really, really different. And I honestly think Giannis felt that, you know, he probably stayed 2 years too long. So it is different. It does feel worse, and you will be searching for the next one. And it's happened before, you know, from Kareem to Ray Allen to you know, you name it. But this is the business we've chosen, right?
Yeah.
It just is. And I think when you lean into what makes you great, that's when you give yourself your best chance of success. The Bucks cannot be the Knicks. The Bucks cannot be the Lakers. They can't. They have to be run like the Thunder, like the Spurs. That's how you have to do it. And by the way, both those teams tanked. They got really bad. Then they got really good. And they got a ton of picks. Now, they also, remember, again, let's look at Oklahoma City. How did they get this wellspring of picks? They took on they couple bad contracts, but Paul George, right?
Mhm.
The Paul George trade gave them a world championship, and they'll probably give them another one. So maybe hopefully that's what comes of the Giannis trade, although it's not enough picks for my taste, and maybe the Tyler Hero trade becomes the picks. But you got to do what they did last night, which is if you hone in on one, the hit rate is pretty high in the NBA, but kind of pick dependent. When you get to that middle level or early lottery, I think you're better off having two bites of the apple than you are one. And I also think that's kind of I look at that with our program, in terms of who we lock in on players wise, like if we put half of our resources towards one player, he may be really good, but he could get hurt. It's hard to develop guys, hard to develop consistency, continuity. When somebody zones you, when somebody mans you, when they figure out, you got to have multiple ways to beat people. So we like to spread it out. I think that's the way you do it in Milwaukee, just like you do it in Oklahoma City and in San Antonio.
All right, so tell Bucks fans why they should be excited about these two picks, and also how long you think it's going to be until we see an impact from these two picks.
I mean, Ament checks every box other than he's really young. I don't know if he's soft. I would say that's the question. And some of that comes from the fact that you're just young playing against men. And remember, he played with a super, super physical team in Tennessee, so it's a kind of weird mix. Burries a stud, dude. Plays hard. Like, I don't think superstar. I think really, really good NBA player. Ament has, again, he checks all the boxes of a guy that, like, okay, that's what it looked like. When he walks in, you'd be like, oh, I don't know who he plays for, but it looks like he plays for somebody. He just got to connect it and be more consistent. Obviously, he's got to be more consistent with his shooting. But I think some of that is, whether it's a toughness factor or maturity factor. Remember, they're not all the same age just because they're all freshmen. Some of these guys are 18, some of these guys are 20, almost 21. And I think he's on the much younger side, and he's going to have to mature into his body. But versatile, super, super skilled wing, like a 2 through 4. And then Burries is another guard he can really guard. He can make plays. I like the pick. I don't think he's going to be a star, but I think I have confidence that he'll be a really good NBA player. I think Ament could be a star, or I think Ament could be a guy that you're like, missed on that one. Took a swing because so many of the physical boxes are checked.
Inside Wisconsin Sports, Trevor and Josh, Doug Gottlieb. I was reading a quote about a particular person. You were talking earlier about how Giannis feels all of the love that Wisconsin has to give. The quote says, this is an incredible place to live, work, and grow. Oh, crap, that's your quote because you got a contract extension. Congratulations. Since the last time we talked, DG
Mazel.
inked into 2031 as you get an extension to remain the head coach for years to come at the University of Wisconsin Green Bay. Congrats, bud.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
How's
Really,
it feel?
really excited. Yeah, it feels amazing. Feels amazing. It just does. And I tried to be somebody who I set your intentions, execute things in the pattern in which you set them. And kind of like we talk, like, right? We do feel like we're close to announcing getting our roster fully set. But try to get some things done, try to get everybody taken care of, try to get my coaching staff taken care of properly and kind of realigned a little bit. And Josh was kind enough to say, like, hey, I'd like to give you a little bump, and I'd like to fix a couple things you didn't like in the old contract. And I'm sure we also wanted to pump up the buyout as well. But so it was great. It was non-confrontational. There was no knives being slung back and forth. And it's really, really cool. And I get to go to work. I get to go to work and make a little bit more money.
Congrats, though. That's awesome, DG.
Thank you.
We love to see that.
It's one of those things where, like right before you sign, because I signed it it was Tuesday. So I signed it last Tuesday after we did this. So I went in to Chancellor Mike's office, and I'd never been in his
after
office.
the show. After you joined, that was Wednesday. You talked to us and then you went and signed it.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
No new.
Well, it's also the first meeting in my life I've ever been that early to. So Josh was like, "Don't be late." It was like 9:00, and so I'm sitting outside his office. But I'd never been to his office. I'd never been there, and it's in the library, which I think we're knocking down. They're building another building anyway. So you can see the bay, and you're sitting up there, and I mean, he's just such a kind, thoughtful person. And there was one little sticking point between me and Josh, and I had my agent Jason Cherney. I complete like, hey, I have a great relationship with Josh. The last thing I want to do is hurt that by negotiating a contract myself. So, Jason, you do it, and let me know when you want me to sign the paper. You know what about I want and what I can get, and you figure it all out. You're a professional. But there's one little deal, and we just talked it out, and it was great. And it's one of those things to where, when you just have really good relationships with people you work for, and you tell them honestly what you're thinking and why you're thinking it, and they tell you honestly what they're thinking and why you're thinking it, it makes a better bond. So yeah, it was a cool thing.
That's awesome. I got a few more questions in regards to Giannis and his legacy that I wanted to run by you quick, but I'm wondering if we should do that.
That's nice. Let's talk about what people care about.
Well, no.
I told you some people are handling this Giannis thing better than
I'm very
others.
happy for you. Very happy for you.
I'm
that
kidding.
you're still here.
Honestly, we're good. So go ahead.
But we'll move you to South Beach in a minute and forget about you. Okay, I'm just letting you know. No, but the big thing was that I was personally surprised yesterday, DG, on the amount of people that came out guns a-blazing for Giannis's head, saying that he's a liar and good riddance, and he was telling us that he'd never leave us, and then went and did exactly that. We're better off without him, and screw the statue. We don't even need to remember him. And I was floored by that. And we thought, all right, some of that might be, recency bias. You're going through the emotions of it, but just looking at it from a different level, talk to me about that perspective when it comes to Giannis's legacy and your thoughts.
How many years is he in Milwaukee?
13.
A long time. It's a long time. Yeah, I mean, I think it's like a divorce, man. I've been through it. It sucks, right? Because in the moment you forget all the amazing, amazing things, and all you think about is, I thought it was forever, And as much as we as fans are emotionally tied to athletes, and athletes can be emotionally tied to cities, I wonder if he'll like it. It's such a different lifestyle. It's such a different lifestyle. And he's a dad. He has a family. Like, it's going to be challenging. Yes, he'll be around uber rich people and the weather will be amazing. Okay. But one, it's not amazing in the summer. It's hotter than Hades. Right? And two, he knows everybody in the Bucks organization. He knows everybody in Milwaukee. Now, he's going to be among other stars. So some of it is also, and he's not going to blend in Miami, but he'll blend in a little bit more. It's not the only show in town. So maybe that's something, the anonymity that he's searching for. I think that's what happens in Los Angeles is you're amongst the stars, but you're not there's not the attention. You and I have talked about this before. Like you get addicted to the attention, but there is a limit to where you don't feel good as a human being able to just live your life. Like, I love going to festival, pushing around the cart, be like, hey coach, like, that's really cool. That's enough. That's good. So I don't know, Josh, it sucks. People are emotional. They lose a player that they grew up watching, like 13 years. That means kids that are, every kid in high school, their only knowledge of the Milwaukee Bucks is with Giannis Antetokounmpo on the Bucks. That's crazy. Like they cannot remember. They have no memory of a Bucks team that doesn't have Giannis on it. It's a massive change. It's also changed for him, and he didn't go to college. So this is a big change in his life. And I think it's going to be hard for him after the first, month or so when you got to okay, what's my grocery store? Where do I go for coffee? Who's friend, who's foe? And, it's Miami. There's plenty of people that have different intentions as opposed to the intentions of Milwaukee. I was in, I want to make sure I sent my condolences on this to the Grubers. Nancy passed away a couple weeks ago. I was there holding Shiva last week ago Monday, and it's in Fox Point. And you're sitting there, you're driving Fox Point, and you're like, oh, holy cow, is this amazing, right? Like this is, if you could live here, I don't care where you're from or who you are or how cold it gets, like this is a beautiful place to live. Right? This is as nice a place as there is anywhere in the country. And you understand that Milwaukee likes all these markets. It's just different. There's a more organic, real, natural feel. You don't have it. Miami's like a fake city. So, I don't know if he'll love it, but he's allowed to sort of make that choice at this point because 13 years served with the Milwaukee Bucks is the over in anybody's over-under.
Well, to Josh's point, too, and we talked about this earlier, after a divorce, one of them always gets this divorce body. And you're like, oh, that's convenient. So we're a little hesitant to watch Giannis get his divorce body and make all these new friends and all these connections. And we're over here going, oh, we didn't want to get divorced.
I think the Giannis thing, the interesting part is they held on to Bam. So the hardest thing in the NBA is so many of these guys that are stars don't guard anybody, right? I mean, the magic to the Knicks was that they could hit Hyde Brunson and still win the series, right? And they didn't for good portions of the series, and that's why they were down like every fourth quarter. But they did enough when it mattered enough, and he carried him enough. The great thing about Giannis is that he's not a minus at the defensive end, and neither is Bam. So as they build, they can build out with not Tyler Hero now, but a Tyler Hero-esque. You can have another guy who's a good player, but made better. Austin Reeves is the example, right? The reason the Lakers can't win with their current roster is at any time you can have three people that can't guard somebody, right? LeBron can't guard anybody more. Austin Reeves doesn't guard anybody, and Luka doesn't guard anybody. Like you can't outscore people in the NBA playoffs. Doesn't work. I know you're worried about divorce body, but what is it? Comparison is the
thief of joy.
Comparison is the thief of joy. Just worry about the Bucks. Just worry about the Burries, Ament, building. Brewers are awesome, right?
Yeah.
And look, remember before the season, who the Brewers traded away right before the season, Josh?
Freddie Peralta.
Okay. How's it working out?
Not great, Bob.
Okay.
Right. So,
Yeah.
okay. So are you saying that you don't think this is going to work for Giannis and the Heat, that they don't? Because I mean that's different.
I
right?
don't know, but it doesn't matter to me. Like again, like we act like we know everything, right? As fans, and like I'm a basketball coach. I've done this for a long time. Like I don't know what Giannis is. Can he get back anywhere near the form he got back to? I don't know how that works between the two of them or whatever. I don't care. Right? You got to care about your team. And right now the Bucks hit reset. And I think that the Hero thing jumps out because, I thought they were going to try a third team to move Hero to somewhere else and to get maybe more picks or get something else. It does make sense if the plan is, hey, we're going to play him, build around him for this year, and then move him because he's an expiring contract, which is super valuable to teams.
You got a new contract, you got a raise, and it appears that you're not terribly busy this morning outside walking the dogs. Are you going to stick around for another segment?
I'm not walking the dogs. I am busy, but I'm never too busy for you guys. So I'm going to make a cup of coffee. I'm going to stare out at the bay, and I'm going to be on with you one more segment because
Awesome. When we get back,
because I will get back. We'll talk about it. I said a little too much last week.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
boy. Yeah. Oh boy.
Well,
Sorry.
Take
Okay.
back Wednesday for DG.
Take back Wednesday. I like that.
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We are on the radio across the entire state. There's that.
Uh-oh.
How about you make it?
The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network is proudly outfitted by Burghardt Sporting Goods, our official apparel partner. Outfit your team or company with custom apparel today at bsg1881.com.
Inside Wisconsin Sports, Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht, Doug Gottlieb, head coach of the UWGB men's basketball team, who last week broke some news, and the entire state of Wisconsin's media picked it up. And this week, Josh just making sure DG is no longer on mute. I know we do him a solid and put him on mute during the break.
Yep.
You teased there that you may have overshared last week.
Yeah, Take Back Tuesday becomes Take Back Wednesday, huh?
Just guessing it might have something to do with this. Go for it.
No, I just, again, until contracts are done, let's not announce anything further. Got some cool things cooking. Not ready to announce. That's all. I just look,
now,
man.
Wait, in your defense, you did say the contract isn't signed.
Huh?
I said, in your defense, you did say the contract is not signed for the game.
Yes. And look, we have some other really cool things in the works, but it's like I'm excited what we're doing, how it's going, where it's trending, all those things. So that's the impetus behind it. So when we have a contract signed, Trevor, you will be the 15th to know.
Perfect. Well, so was there can you take us behind the cheddar curtain on that? Like, how did that shake out on your end?
It wasn't so much the discussion about trying to do this thing. It's again, like I view this whole thing as, hey, we gotta, for example, I think the Badgers, I think it's crazy, at least from the basketball side, some of the things that people have said because they lost to High Point. It's like, bro, they beat Michigan and Purdue on the road last year. They had a great year. They lost the game to a team that those of us who know that High Point probably has the same money as Wisconsin last year, and when it's 50-50, and I think there's things that if you ask Coach Gard, you'd go back like, ooh, we should have done things differently and played things differently. Okay, that's basketball, that's coaching. They get you all sped up, but that was, I don't know. I think they have a great program, but I also think that there should be a partnership here because we are under the same umbrella. And look, they're playing at Lambeau for football, and as much as I know this is our town, still Badger State, and they need to take advantage of that. And so I'm trying to create pathways for all of us to be successful. I mean, because hell, Iowa State's got as many kids from the state of Wisconsin as we do. I mean, and so you got to build a fence. You got to kind of work together on it, and you got to figure out ways in which, let's just be kind of candid, we can all make money on things together. And so that's where the excitement comes from. It's because I have a belief in our place that we can make this thing so good, and we're not there yet. But if you look at what the women do, mirror some of that. And then there's some things you have to do differently because it's men's basketball, the culture, climate, the league, everything is different. And if we can nail that, and we can both be elite programs in the league, now we can, it's like, I don't want to leave the Horizon League, but can we look around and say, what works best for us? How can we schedule better? And the other thing is I want to walk into the Resch and it be full, right? That's the dream. That's what, I can't tell you how many people our age or my age, Trevor, you're younger, obviously Josh, you're much younger, who always say, man, when I was a kid, went to Brown County with my dad. It's one of my favorite memories of childhood, right? So the Resch is right where Brown County was. And I just like to see what that feels like to have 10,000 people in there for a basketball game.
It was wild. I was there the last time it happened. That's when the fight started on all this, by the way, because Green Bay beat Wisconsin. It was a regular season game. The Resch was absolutely full. The atmosphere was amazing. And that was a bad moment for Wisconsin losing to GB. It kind of hurt the rest of their year, even though we all know, especially today, whatevs. It is what it is. But even for an exhibition game, well, we hope it shakes out. Thank you for letting us break the news. And sorry,
I was excited. I'm a bit.
It makes sense why you didn't respond to my text message that said, "Hey, thanks for letting us break the news."
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is that we have to put a pause on the quadfecta. That's what I'm hearing.
Hey, let just give me a minute. Let me get everything situated. There will be a quadfecta at some point in October.
Okay.
Because there's lots of different things going on for us in October, even though that's not game month.
Okay.
So, and then there's going to be a potential November quadfecta, maybe. I don't know.
Just let us re-break the news if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, that's what we'll do.
Okay, thanks.
That's what we'll do. We'll pretend like it never happened.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about. Okay. That's good. Yeah.
Do you got a Would You Rather Wednesday?
Oh yeah.
We had a bunch of them. Okay, I'm going to ask you this one. We talked about wrestling. Would you rather take a body slam or a flying elbow? Not you're on the receiving end.
Okay, so all I can tell you, so we did paintball as a team, and I don't know if you guys can see it.
I was going to ask you about that.
Oh. Ow. Ow. And I came up with this concept in my mind. Last year I went and I was wearing kind of like loosely fit clothing, and I took one in the unmentionables.
Oh.
And I was like, so this time I was like, I went with a ribbed white t-shirt, which we know has a different name, but I won't share that name because I like how I'm employed, right? But I was wearing a rib white and shorts, but then I spent the extra money to get this like vest, like protective vest over your chest. And then you have these pods, and the pods, you can have a belt. So I felt covered. But I had thought like, okay, well, it hurts anyway. Maybe there's less clothing. Maybe I'll catch it less. I don't know. Not a good idea.
Nope.
Not a good idea.
Yeah.
So in terms of pain, I do have decent pain tolerance. Flying elbow or being body slammed?
Yeah.
I think it's like a real flying elbow, not like what they do in WWE, which is fake, right?
Well, I mean,
no, it's
both.
fake.
There's still a
It's
250-pound dude flying at you.
We're saying
it's
in WWE.
Fake. It's acting. It's really decent acting, but it's Can we guys nod your head when I say it's acting?
Yes. Essentially, looking at this, gravity is not acting. Gravity is real. So either you're
Gotta learn how to make
falling.
falls. No question. Those guys are pros at falls. I don't know how they do it.
Bumps. Some call them bumps.
You either you're falling to the mat or someone's falling on you, right? Like someone that's the question. Which one?
Would I like to fall or somebody falling on me?
Flying elbow or body slam? Yep.
Probably the flying elbow.
Yeah. That's
it's another human being laying on me. Plus the other human being laying on me is kind of gross. Especially you have like the little singlet, or you don't got a singlet, you got the little unitard thing.
Yeah.
And then they're like sweaty and hairy, and like, I'm good.
Okay.
Give me some more. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
All right. Yeah, we only got a few minutes.
I know.
Beer or bourbon?
Ooh. You know, I'm not. This one's the hard one for living in Wisconsin. Not a huge beer guy.
You're learning.
I like a Wisconsin old fashioned, so I'll go. Ooh, I do like Mexican beer. I'm gonna go bourbon. I'm gonna go bourbon.
We both said beer.
It also sounds way cooler to go like bourbon.
Whoa.
Yeah, but I said bourbon first, and then Trevor started listing off all the different times that I would order a beer. And
I'm not drinking bourbon in the Packer tailgate party. I'm not drinking bourbon on a boat like that. It's beer season pretty much 12 months of the year here.
Hard to argue.
You know that the Pabst, the old Pabst brewery. I was up there.
Yeah.
Last week with Hayes or whatever. That area is really cool. I like what they've done with the brewery district. Amazing.
That's cool.
It is. All right, I got another one. Would you rather watch Giannis win in Miami or Rodgers win in Pittsburgh?
Ooh, wow. Because Giannis also because Aaron Rodgers also has McCarthy, right? Like
that's exactly the point I made.
Oh. I think it's Miami. I don't think it's close.
Yeah. Right answer.
Because remember, that means the Pack aren't winning.
That's
We
exactly
know,
what I said.
we know the Bucks aren't winning. Okay, this is not a.
There's your promo.
We know the Bucks
Man.
aren't winning, but that means the Pack isn't winning, and McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers would be winning. So I actually don't think it's close. Giannis and the Heat.
You make it seem like it's a bad thing if so you think it's a bad thing if McCarthy wins?
Because the Packers aren't winning. Yes. And the former coach of the Packers and the former quarterback of the Packers and the former coach who was fired, and by the way, was on the market. Like, I didn't think they're going to fire LaFleur for the Bears playoff deal. Okay. But there was a spirit in the air for a lot of people right after the game. They're like, fire everybody. Right. So you could have hired him and you didn't. And I mean, he was here for our games this year. I mean, he lives here. So I don't think that's close, Josh.
Okay.
I completely agree. Josh is a really big Bucks fan, so that's hard, right? And all of the reasons that you just said were exactly my same answer. We got time for one more, then we got to get out of here.
Okay.
Do you have any tattoos?
No.
Are you anti-tattoo?
No, I'm also Jewish, and I know some Jews now get tattoos, but there was a time in which we were tattooed and we didn't want to be tattooed, so don't do that.
Fair.
I'm not super anti. I have a daughter who has one. But what was the question about tattoos? Because everybody's thought about like, ooh, that'd be if I get one.
Yeah,
right.
So I'm in the market. I have it designed. I am going to do it here on my right forearm. So would you rather right forearm or on your chest?
All depends on the tattoo. I mean, I always thought like if I do forearm, you kind of got to do sleevey type deal. Chest one can be cool as well.
More about the pain tolerance here.
Does Josh know about the tramp stamp, or no? You've never shown him.
Jeez, I thought we were going to keep that to ourselves.
It's a private thing, but I mean, we were talking about tattoos.
Wow, so much for I'm going to say less and not share much news.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
Yeah, continue blowing things.
I apologize, but there was no contract with your tattoo in your the tramp stamp area.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
Doug Gottlieb,
Thanks,
head
Doug.
coach of UWGB men's basketball. On the guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all.
Wow,
I guess I'll just let you wonder if that's a bunch of crap
Phoenix on the lower back, huh?
Oh, yeah. He drew it.
It rises.
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. We'll cross over with the 9 to noon next.
Do you want to score free Wendy's Frosty Classics this summer? Well, when the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, proud high A affiliate of the Milwaukee Brewers, record 10 strikeouts in a game, you can go to any Wisconsin Wendy's and get a free small Frosty Classic. Follow the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers on Twitter or Instagram as they post after every game with 10 strikeouts. This offer is good for 24 hours following the game, so don't delay and go enjoy that free small Frosty Classic.
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh in just a few minutes to cross over with our friends from 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami Makloff. John Kuhn joins us, and JK, my guy's got a question for you in the Would You Rather section. Josh, take it away.
I do. We had on a Would You Rather Wednesday a few questions, and one that's come up quite often is, would you rather watch Giannis win in Miami or Rodgers win in Pittsburgh?
Can I say both? I mean,
no,
I don't mind if the Packers or the Bucks don't win, and I am optimistic and looking forward to the change in Milwaukee. So don't take this wrong. I don't think the Bucks have a great shot at winning the championship this year. So yes, I wouldn't mind seeing Giannis go down and win another championship. I root for the guys that do things the right way, guys that gave me an emotional bond when they were on our teams, and Rodgers and Giannis were definitely part of that. Plus, Mike is in Pittsburgh. You think I don't want to see Big Mike go back to a second Super Bowl? So yeah, I'd love to see them both. And I know that cheats the Would You Rather. So if it's Would You Rather, it's got to be Steelers because of Mike.
What's up next from 9 to noon?
Well, we're going to get into the draft last night. What the Bucks did, was it the right move? Or do we still have a little bit of a Giannis hangover and some of the national reaction to the trade? And do we agree or disagree? The Brewers obviously starting to do what they do in the summer once again, or just continuing to do what they do in the summer, and then our normal shenanigans from 9 to 9.
With John Kuhn and Rami Makloff, that's up next on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Josh has spent the last 3 breaks in a row reading an article that just came out from Jim Ozarski in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Some people on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line have said, if you want to just keep your view the same of Giannis and not see it in a different light, then steer clear. You finish it, Josh?
I haven't finished it yet, but I can promise you that we will be discussing it on tomorrow's show.
Teaser. In the biz, that's what they call it. Get your hands on that article. Jimmy O is an incredible writer and has the inside scoop more than we could have ever imagined on the whole Giannis situation and really the last few years within the Bucks organization. Our thanks to all of you. Another great day on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line, 414-677-1250. I would say not quite as unglued as yesterday, but still choosing a little violence this morning. These things happen. Our thanks to Doug Gottlieb for joining us on Wednesdays at 8 a.m., and our thanks to you for tuning back in tomorrow. We're going to do it again on a Be Better Thursday. So if Doug had to take back that whole Wisconsin thing, it might like take back Wednesday, Be Better Thursday with the Wisconsin Better Business Bureau. There's plenty to choose from.
True.
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. We'll see you tomorrow.
Because we're not done yet.